figure di riferimento Maria e Marta. Adesso do la parola alla seconda. Vi ricordo che dopo ci sarà anche la possibilità di scrivere in chat delle domande, però alla seconda relatrice, in particolare a Suor Monika Deullmann, Superiora Generale della Congregazione delle Suore di San Giuseppe dell'Apparizione e suora missionaria. Ha studiato teologia, biologia e matematica all'Università di Bonn in Germania, quindi le sue origini sono tedesche. Poi dal 2000 al 2020 ha lavorato come infermiera e poi ricoperto anche il ruolo di direttrice dell'ospedale St. Louis a Gerusalemme, in Israele. L'ospedale è veramente una buona pratica di per sé, perché si occupa in particolare di malati terminali e di terapie palliative e vi sono pazienti di tutte e tre le religioni presenti in Terra Santa, ma anche lo staff è un team multireligioso e multiculturale. A partire proprio da questa sua esperienza, ma anche dai suoi 6 anni in Francia, 20 anni in Gerusalemme, vorrei far raccontare da lei, diciamo, come in particolare la presenza di luoghi di lavoro comuni e anche di obiettivi, diciamo, comuni, può aiutare la pluralità e il superamento anche del razzismo, ma la valorizzazione della differenza tra uomini, donne, persone di etnie diverse, di classi e religioni diverse. Do quindi la parola a Monika Deullmann.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy about all what I already heard, and I think it's really a nice way to share with each other our experiences and look together to the future. As you heard, I lived some time in France, I lived some time in the Holy Land, and I would like to start to share about one event which took place in France in July this year. In Grenoble, in one of its suburbs called Villeneuve, there was a big fire, and this is a suburb which is mostly lived in by people from different nationalities, also many people who live in poverty, a so-called difficult suburb. So there was a fire and it broke out in the 3rd floor of an apartment building, and there were 2 children trapped on the balcony and couldn't come out. And there was a group of people who passed by, and they got together and they made these 2 children jump from the balcony into their arms. These men broke their arms in order to save the children. And it were people who didn't know each other before. They were just passing by at this moment in this place, people from different nationalities. And one of them even couldn't be honored officially by the government for his carriage because he is not a legal resident of France. And after having done what they did, they said to the press who asked them and put them up as heroes, they said, but we are not heroes. It is normal what we did. There were no questions to ask. They are children, they are human. They are children, they are human. I think in this sentence, there lie a lot of keys for us how to fight against discrimination, against racism, against separating people along from where they come or where they belong to. The first one is this very fundamental conviction: we are all human, we are all the same. And the second point is for me a more practical hint, because they said they are children. And sometimes it may be more easy for people to feel that we are all the same when we speak about children or other vulnerable people. Because when I think to why sometimes discrimination and racism takes power over the acting of people, some reasons may be that people are afraid from each other, that they don't know each other, or also that they can be afraid that somebody else will take their job or their job possibility. And all these things don't count when we meet children or vulnerable people. And this is something what I experienced very, very strongly in my work in Jerusalem. What Sylvia already said, I was in a hospital where people of all religions and all social groups live together the last period of life. It can be one day, can be 1 month, palliative care, geriatric care. But before I speak to you about the hospital, I would like to mention some things I could observe in the Israeli society, because the Israeli society is a society which lives a very difficult situation. The situation of the political conflict between Israelis and Palestinians, but also a lot of difficult situation inside the Israeli society. Because the Israeli society is made up by members of different ethnic groups, Israeli Arabs, Druze people, Israeli Jewish people, and even inside the Jewish Israeli society, we have all the different groups of people from where they come from. And there is a lot of talking and trying to create unity among Israeli Arabs, Jewish Arabs, among Ethiopian Jews, Russian Jews, European Jews. And if I look at the society and the means taken in the society, how to foster unity between all the groups, several things came to my view when I was living there. One important thing is a common army service, which unites people, so strangely it may sound. Common social service. Some groups who try to live common schooling or collaboration of schools of different groups. A lot of non-governmental organizations who try to put together under a common aim people of goodwill and follow together this common aim, and it's not important from where the members are coming. And this common aim is something which I felt very strongly in my work in the hospital. From a basic, I think it's a privilege to work in health service, because the health system is a system which in all countries should be, and mainly also is, far away from considerations of racism or discrimination. In the health system, everybody should be the same, and very often this is also working. So in the hospital where I was, it's a hospital run by our religious congregation. And we have, as Sylvia said, Jewish, Christian, Muslim patients, Jewish, Christian, Muslim staff, Israelis, Palestinians. And you can see a Palestinian nurse taking care for the mother of a Jewish soldier. Or you can see a Catholic sister reciting prayers, accompanying the dying of Jewish patient. And the prayers she is reciting are the Jewish prayers for the dying. Or you can see a Jewish rabbi getting out his telephone to search in the YouTube for the Our Father in French for a French Carmelite nun, because this is what she would like to pray with him. Then you can see him busy, the same rabbi, to prepare a Muslim funeral or to get some Orthodox Jewish musicians to sing under the Christmas tree. A lot of things. I could speak hours about this, but don't worry, I won't. Things which show that when we have a common aim, and in this case, the common aim was to give as much quality of life possible to the patients, then we can do a lot of things together. And for me, this is really, I think, the key for living together. To unite ourselves under a common aim and under this common consciousness of humanity. We are all human. We are all human. And in a certain way, if we speak about dialogue, which helps us to get to know each other, to solve common problems, there is, of course, this dialogue of sitting all around a table, or in our days, all in front of the same screen for a Zoom meeting. And it's important. But I think the even more important dialogue is when we look together in a common direction, when we have a common aim, And when this aim is for us so strong that it makes us forget that we may come from different places and have different religions and things like this. And this is what I think, if we want together to work against any form of discrimination, it's of course to remind ourselves every day we are all human, but also to see where can we create places where people can make this experience, where people can work together. This can be institutions of the church in different countries. This can be non-governmental organizations. This can be a lot of things we can try to create or to be part of where we have a common aim. And in Israel, for example, there is a group, they decided to do circus work. It's a circus, I think it's in English. And they are Israeli Jewish children and Palestinian children who do circus together. And when the little Muhammad throws in the air the little David, and he always will catch him again after, to these two children, you will never be able to say all Jewish are bad or all Muslims are bad or all Palestinians are bad, because they know in their body that this is not true, because they have this common experience. And I think really that this is what can foster for us to get to know each other and to go against all forms of discrimination. May they be religious or according to if we are men or women or politics or all, to have together a common aim. And together we can do miracles. And I think the first miracle is very often already the fact that we do it together.
Grazie mille Monica, davvero penso che questo sia la raccomandazione anche molto importante, quella di creare, generare sempre di più, diciamo, dei luoghi appunto di lavoro comune con degli obiettivi comuni come modelli appunto di nuova convivenza, no? Vivere insieme e di dialogo. Però il dialogo è farsi attraversare dall'altro, no? Farsi profondamente interrogare dall'altro. Grazie. Adesso do la parola invece a Suor Rita Bosciu,